Oh, there we go. Fantastic. Welcome, everyone. Thank you, Akib, for an amazing introduction. Look, first of all, I want to give it back to Akib. I want to give a massive shout out to Akib because I've seen him grow in front of me in terms of personal growth in this industry. Is simply incredible. I see a lot of people putting in the chat where they are from. If you haven't done so, go ahead and do that because we would love to give you guys a shout out. Let's take a look. We've got London, UK, Manchester, UK, Auckland, New Zealand, all the way far east there in the house. South of London, UK, Mauritius, welcome. Trinidad and Tobago, Nigeria. Medellin, Colombia, welcome. South Wales, UK, Nigeria. Tunisia, Nigeria. Rodrigue Island, that's like little neighbor to Mauritius. First time we're seeing someone from Rodrigue on the call. Welcome. India, Tanzania, St. Lucia, Australia, Antigua, Barbuda, Republic of South Africa, I'm assuming for RSA, or Saudi Arabia, possibly either. I know we've got teams in both places. Midlands, UK, Mauritius, Lusaka, Zambia, India, UK, Sydney, Canada. Wow, we've got Sri Lanka in the house. We've got Croatia, Trinidad and Tobago, Belize, Melbourne, Australia. Wow, we've got people from everywhere. I'm trying to see which one. Spain, Marbella, Holland, Netherlands. Welcome. Thailand, Israel, Paris, Canada, St. Lucia, Algeria, Belgium, Namibia, Strasbourg, France, welcome. Wow, we've got people from all over the world. I'm just checking if any of them. Stockport, welcome. Hastings, Marseille, Monaco, a lot of French in the house. Nice, Belgium, Italy, Portugal, Paraguay, Romania, Berlin, Germany, Milan, Italy, Suriname, welcome. Well, we've got people from all over the world. Welcome. My name is Avinash Nagama, originally from Mauritius, born and raised in a small, tiny tropical island in the middle of the Indian Ocean. And I moved to London at the age of 18, and I've been here since. It's been quite a few years. And we're here today to talk about an incredible project. But before that, I think it's important that you understand two things. One, who I am, and also take the next couple of minutes as I share my story to reach out to anyone who's part of your movement of Daisy or who's about to become part of that, because we have an ultimate special guest on the call. Someone who doesn't come on team calls like that. We only get to see that person on global calls most of the time. Today, we will get the opportunity to have that person on this call. And maybe for some people in your team, for some of the people about to join, who knows when they will get that opportunity again to hear directly from that person who has one of the most important role to play in this project we're about to discuss. So make sure you reach out to your team, get them on the call. A little bit more about me. Moved to London at the age of 18 for my studies, did my studies, and then as we're taught to do, I went to get a job. But I very quickly got out of the job mentality and stepped into the entrepreneurship world. And when I'm talking entrepreneurship, I'm talking the traditional business. And then in 2012, a friend came to see me and said, Avi, we need to look at this thing called Bitcoin and we need to buy some. And I looked at it. There wasn't enough information. I didn't believe in it. The more he was convincing me we should buy some, the more I was convincing him not to buy. Very gladly so that he was very persistent. And eventually I said to him, you know what, just to prove you wrong, I'm going to buy two. Bitcoin price was at $9.96, less than $10. For anyone who doesn't know, Bitcoin nowadays is trading from anything between $55,000 to $60,000 each. I had the opportunity, not so long ago, to buy them each at less than $10. I bought just two, not 200. And I forgot about it because I did it as a joke. I wanted to prove my friend wrong. 13 months later, he phoned me and said, Avi, you remember those coins that we bought? At that moment, he reminded me of those, and I was ready to celebrate. Not because I thought they went up, because I thought he's about to tell me, you were right. You know, it's disappeared, it's failed. And I was going to say, I told you so, because I spent $20 just to try and make fun of my friend later, you know, a banter. But that wasn't the case, as most of you know. He called me telling me Bitcoin had risen from less than $10 to $1,100. And at that point, as an entrepreneur, anyone would have understood, in fact, but as an entrepreneur, I understood I've just missed out on making 110x my money in a year, in 13 months. That's huge. I'm sure there's loads of entrepreneurs on this call, business owners on this call. You would agree with me. People dream of making 110x of their money in a whole lifetime, in 10 years. I could have done that in 13 months. But my overconfidence, my ignorance, my lack of education and understanding of crypto and blockchain led me to the wrong decision. So at that point, I did three things. The first thing I did, I went and bought some more Bitcoins. The second thing, I decided I needed to now gather the education and understanding of this industry, that the lack of it made me lose out on this opportunity. So I started studying the crypto and the blockchain industry. And the third thing I did, I used to be a Forex trader from 16 years ago. So I decided to leverage my trading skills to start trading Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies to make up for lost time. Now, it was a rocky journey at the start because, yes, I understand trading, but it's not quite the same market. The volatility is very different, but I was able to adjust eventually and catch up with a bit of lost time. And all that time, I had never done anything close to network marketing. In 2016, I finally stepped into the world of network marketing. So not even 5 years ago, it hasn't been 5 years, or give or take 5 years. And on that journey, I met Akib and great people. And, you know, Akib mentioned the kind of turnover, the figures that we've done in the past. I just want to say that wasn't me. What I mean is the credit, I don't deserve it because the credit goes to my team. The credit goes to people like Akib and others who we work together, and you know, their hard work and our collaboration as a team, as a family, is what allowed us to be able to literally create those incredible success stories. Okay, so that was down to the team. But in the network marketing, we were in the financial services, and here's what happened, right? There are many things that happen in this industry that put me off, which is why for the last 2.5 years, I moved away. Out of less than 5 years, last 2.5 years, I've been away from this industry, away from the financial services network marketing industry. And when this project I'm about to share with you came to me, I was willing to look at it out of courtesy because it was coming from a reliable source. I knew some of the people who are the founders of this company, but my answer was ready to say no, because for the last 2.5 years, I've said no, 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 no to hundreds of companies. And ironic, here I am in front of you today, sharing this same opportunity. And here's why. Here's why. You see, the reason I moved away from the company where me, Akib, and our team, we've done over 200 million in turnover, the first thing that pushed us away was this. We joined the company. I believe joining a network marketing company is a contract. They show you their plan, what they will pay you, the bonuses they will pay you, the structure they have, and you agree to join and you get started based on that. So we joined a company. Here we are. We've already put in 150 million plus volume in this business, in this organization. One day, without consulting us, nothing at all, the CEO decided they're going to change the compensation plan. Bang, overnight, they reduced it by 30%. Everyone's income went from here to here. And other times in this industry, I'm sure many of you can relate, we've seen people take someone's organization, move it somewhere else. Or you join a business, someone joined after you, but they place them above you. Now, these are the repulsive things that I hate about network marketing. So when this project came to me, the first part, when they explained to me that this project from day one launches on the blockchain as a smart contract on the blockchain, for anyone who doesn't understand that, which means it's an encrypted, secured ledger on the blockchain. That means no one controls it. No one can change the structure. No one can change the compensation plan. I was blown away. I was blown away because I thought that is a revolution in our industry. That means if you join before someone else, there's no way they can be above you. No one can move your organization. No one can ever say, okay, now that you're already in, we know you can't really leave. You know what? We're going to reduce it. We say we're going to pay you X percentage. We're going to half it. They can't do that. And I was impressed. I was very impressed, in fact. But guess what? My answer was still no. My answer was still no. And here's the reason, because in the financial services industry of network marketing over the last years and years, and the last 2.5 years that I've been saying no, here's the common ground. Every company that launches says to you, we're going to pay you 0.5% a day, 1% a day, 1 to 2% a day. I mean, how can you pay a fixed percentage, or how can you even know how much profit you're going to make next week, next month on a trade that hasn't even happened yet? Which is why very often when we meet with these companies, the owners, the founders, they can't answer basic questions. The funniest thing is they say they have experience from 2 years, 5 years, more even. But when you look at it, the company that is supposed to be doing the trading, or the traders, they have been registered for 2 months, 3 months. It's a registered company from 6 months max. They're always a new company. And when you try and say, okay, you're saying you have been doing extremely well for 2 years, for 5 years, can you show me the results live, not just a spreadsheet? Show me the results. Guess what? The excuses starts. Oh, no, we can't show you that because you're going to learn our trading system. As a trader, I can tell you that's not true. Or you say, can you take me to your live trading floor? I mean, you get all sorts of excuses. They take you to some places which is just for show. They open up for 1 day, 1 week, and they show people. The worst one I've heard, and I'm sure some of you will be cracking up when you've heard this before, when they say to you, no, we can't take you there because that's in a top secret location to protect you. They try and say they're protecting you by not taking you there because it doesn't exist. And that's why, if you look back, any company in the financial services that has promised a fixed percentage has not shown their proof of trading. There's none of these companies that exist from 3 years ago that's still here today. That's why, even despite this being a project on the blockchain, I was saying no. I was ready to still say no until they told me the company behind that's going to be doing the trading. I was blown away. And at that point, I had no other option. Apologies, I'm keeping an eye on my phone so that I know when our special guest is here. Please make sure you're getting your people on the call. All your guests, all your existing team should be on this call. They do not want to miss out from hearing from this incredible person. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. Let's make sure you can see my screen. There we go. I hope you should be able to see my screen. If someone can give me a thumbs up from one of the co-hosts, let me know you can see my screen.
Great. Clear.
Super. Thank you, Flavius. And today, I don't know what my kids have done with my clicker where I can click and move the slide. I tell you, we can't do anything with our technology these days. But we're blessed because we're about to talk about a technology-based company, right? So I'm going to be doing the slides manually with my hands, so bear with me. The name of the project is DAISY. It stands for Decentralized Artificial Intelligence System. Co-hosts, please keep an eye when our special guests come on, just nudge me, let me know, because I would want to stop and leave the floor for that person for a few minutes to share a little bit of what you can expect going forward in the next few days as this project launches. Now, before we dive right into it, it's important that I share a disclaimer with you. Please read through this disclaimer, even take a screenshot for you to read in more details later. I want to add something and point out a few things here. The first thing I want to add, I am not a financial advisor. So no part of this call should be constituted as any financial advice, okay? Daisy is currently not available in all countries, including the US, so please refer to the website if you're not too sure if your country is allowed as part of the Daisy project, okay? I will leave you to read the rest of it, and I'm sure everyone can read it within their own luxury and take your time to read it and understand that previous performance do not guarantee future performances. Now, Daisy. What is Daisy? Daisy is an equity crowdfunding model for financial technologies that works as a decentralized smart contract, not a company. Like I said, it's on the blockchain. You see, the blockchain is not controlled because it's decentralized. That means no one can change anything, no compensation plan change, no structure change, nothing at all. It's a model where everyone can win with profits, equity, and income. And it's currently crowdfunding Endotech for the Daisy AI project. Now, Endotech is a name for your notes. You see, I'm here just to provide you with the information. It's your responsibility to take this information and do your own research and make an informed decision for yourself, because you're the only person who's responsible and liable for your decision. And Endotech is going to be a key part of that research. Now, in this project, contributors receive exclusive stock equity and profit rewards. So what is Daisy AI that we're developing, that Daisy is developing? Well, it's a decentralized artificial intelligence system being developed by Endotech. Daisy AI is the next generation of AI trading that will significantly multiply the current AI performance. Now, I'm not going to tell you yet what the performance is. We'll do that on the next slide. But the Daisy AI project, this whole crowdfunding project, is to significantly multiply the current AI performance. And I'm sure everyone wants to know, well, what is the current AI performance, right? We'll get to that. Daisy AI is also the first project capitalized by the Daisy crowdfund, where the target for live AI Daisy trading account is $500 million. And I'm going to share a little part with you in a minute, which is incredible. But Daisy AI is Endotech's path to becoming a public company, a publicly listed company. Now, what I want to share with you is we already had a beta launch earlier this year, a test launch for 5 days, not even 5 days. In 5 days, we saw 50,000 people join Daisy. $50 million in contribution in 5 days. That is unheard of. That was just a beta launch. And now we've been doing a full pre-launch mode, and we are about to launch in the next few days. Within the next week, this project is launching. So you are at the right place at the right time, because you're a pioneer. You're a pioneer. If you're seeing Daisy today for the first time, you're one of the pioneers. But guess what? You still have a lot of people as success stories that can vouch for this incredible project. Now, Endotech, as we said, is going to be part of your research, but we'll give you some information on Endotech, right? It's the first technology partner for Daisy Crowdfund. Endotech is the first technology partner for Daisy Crowdfund. It's a global fintech company that specializes in AI trading system. And over the past few years, they've consistently been generating between 400 to 800% on average profit per year. Let me say this again. This crowdfunding project is to raise capital to create the Daisy AI technology that will significantly multiply the current AI performance. And the current AI performance on average has been between 400 to 800% profit per year. And there's a roadmap to complete Daisy AI and be publicly traded by 2022. They are currently providing AI trading systems for top financial institutions with a proven track record of high performance results, because Endotech is a 9-year-old company that you can go and verify. They were registered in 2012. You can even go and verify all their crypto trading for the past 5 years. You can verify everything on the company. It was founded by Dr. Anna Becker, operated top AI scientists. In fact, a little bit more information about Dr. Anna Becker. She has a PhD in artificial intelligence. At the age of 20, she found an approximation algorithm by a factor of 2, which is still used in some operating systems today.
Brother Avi.
Yes, I've got it.
Our star is in the house.
Yes, her team of AI scientists have more than 20 proprietary AI systems in operations that serve as AI investing backbone of trading at more than 150 investment firms across the United States, Europe, and Asia. This is simply incredible, and there's much, much more on her. But right now, I have to step back and introduce to you our special guest of the day. Look, I wanted this person to come on and share a little bit about the vision, about what's about to happen. We had an incredible beta launch, as we said. So if you're here and you were part of the beta launch, you know exactly what we're talking about. And for those of you who are here for the first time, we're prepared to be blown away. So this gentleman I'm about to introduce is someone that was introduced to me by a common friend within the network marketing space a few years ago. And I've always highly respected his success, his track record. He's achieved incredible milestones in this industry. And when this project came to me and I knew that this gentleman is part of the creators of this project, that's the reason, as I said to you, I had to look at it. I had to look at it, and he created, along with his partners, something that has blown my mind away and that mind of thousands of people. And today we get to hear directly from him, one of the co-creators of the Daisy project, none other than my friend, my brother, Mr. Jeremy Roma. So over to you, sir. Thank you very much for your presence here. It's always an honor. I leave it to you before I carry on with the presentation.
Awesome, Avi, it's an honor to be here, man. Thank you for inviting me to be a part of this webinar with you and the team, the family from around the world. So thank you so much. Hey, first of all, bro, congratulations to you and your team. This team of leaders, you guys were literally the #1 producing organization in those short 4 days of our beta launch. Over 17,000 members in your personal organization. And I know that you attribute that consistently to all of the great leaders that you're working with in the organization. So my hat's off to you, my congratulations to you. Just incredible what you guys have already achieved. And I know because of your commitment to systems, because of your commitment to making sure to take the complex and make it simple for the people and duplicate that, you guys are in position to absolutely own the next relaunch. When we open the doors in these next few days, there's no doubt in my mind that this is the team to be on. This is you guys are at the right place at the right time with the right leadership team. So congratulations. It's an honor to be working with you as well. And a lot of you guys may not know this, but Avi was also very involved in the implementation of many of the ideas in the direction of Daisy when we were orchestrating the model, when we were architecturing the model, the referral plan, different components, the rollouts. Avi had a lot of input directly with me because of our relationship, and brought some really, really valuable insights and continues to bring valuable insights to us. So I consider Avi a partner, a true partner of the Daisy project. What's happening would not be happening without your leadership. So, and the whole team of leaders that you have, that you're working with. So congratulations. I'm looking forward to meeting many of you. Once we get past these travel restrictions, we're definitely going to be doing a Pacesetter leadership event as well that will that every one of you can qualify for. And most likely we'll be doing somewhere like Dubai, and just a chance for all of us from around the world to get to know each other and spend some great time together amongst leaders. And looking forward to that. So maybe that's another big incentive for everybody to qualify for Pacesetter when we relaunch, because you definitely will want to be there. It's going to be a high level experience, and it's going to be a great time. So man, we're you know, it's been an amazing, amazing journey so far. I know that I love what you said today on the leadership call, that the reality is when, you know, when at the end of those 4 days, when we had to make the decision to pause, momentarily everybody felt the disappointment of that, you know, especially your organization with all the momentum you had, and then have to put the brakes on. And for the first 24 hours, you processed that. And then you came out on the other side and said, okay, this is the situation. It is what it is, and it can't be changed. So how do we take this situation and turn it for good? How do we take this situation and this challenge and actually make it a positive for the organization? And immediately you started to focus on preparing and working with your team of leaders to prepare for relaunch. And I believe that was the smartest decision you could have made. And the leaders that stood with you in the Daisy Project and said, hey, we're all in. Because of that, now that we're approaching the relaunch, you guys are in the most dynamic position you could ever imagine. I mean, just think about what happened in those 4 days with, you know, literally a couple of weeks of preparation. And now we are moving into this relaunch with so much force behind your organization. So every single person that's on this call, you have an opportunity in this relaunch to just achieve everything that you could imagine. This is truly an opportunity for each and every one of you to seize this moment, seize this opportunity, go all in. We promise you, go all in. If you go all in on this relaunch, you will enter the next chapter of your life financially. You will enter the next chapter of your life at a whole nother level. And the reward to those that seize this moment is just going to be massive. The heart of Daisy is we wanted to do something that had never been done before. We wanted to put a business model together where everybody wins, where the average person, the leader, every background, every nationality, we wanted to make sure that it was a model where everybody was winning. And we've achieved that. And I think one of the amazing accomplishments is, even though the platform has not been able to, we have not allowed any new enrollments, we've not had any new upgrades. So no new money has come in for the last 60 days. And yet every single member of Daisy, your wealth is growing. Your rewards from the performance of the Daisy platform is already performing. And that's just extraordinary. It's an extraordinary situation to say the new money is on pause, and yet every single person is winning. I don't know that this story's ever been told, ever happened in our industry before, but it's exciting. And I think it really represents the heart behind Daisy. We wanted to create a model where there were no casualties. This was the number one mantra, 8 months ago when this idea started to formulate. It was, we wanted a model where there's no casualties, where nobody gets hurt, everybody wins. And we have an opportunity to take that model to the world coming very soon. So Avi, we're honored to be working with you. I'll throw it back to you. If you want me to discuss anything specifically, feel free to ask me. I've got a few minutes here.
No, certainly appreciate that, Jeremy. I think one thing that would be great for people to hear, because we've got some new guests here, we've got existing people, really what your vision is and what you see happening over the next 120 days, based on what we did in those 4 days, the quality of leaders that now, after seeing what we did in 4 days, can't wait and is joining us in the launch. So it would be great for everyone to hear a little bit about that.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind. I have 100% certainty that in the next 120 days, we're going to reach $1 billion and we're going to knock this thing out of the ballpark. And very quickly, 120 days, move into the next phase of the DAISY project. This has never been done in the history of any of the industries that DAISY touches, not in the crowdfunding industry, not in the fintech industry, not in the peer-to-peer marketing industry. This has never been done. And if you simply take the numbers, if you say, okay, in 4 days, the DAISY project generated just right at $50 million, $49+ million, $50 million in 4 days. So if you take that 4 days and you go out 40 days, so you multiply that by 10, if you just take that same ratio, then you're not at 50 million, you're at 500 million. And if you take that out 80 days, you're at $1 billion. So this is not just a hypothesis, or, we hear a lot of companies, I hear a lot of people, we're going to be the next $1 billion, we're going to be the next, but there's no ground, there's no foundation for that expectation. It's really just hype in most instances. We have proven the foundation for this expectation. We have proven, because in 4 days we did 50 million. So to think that in the next 120 days, 1 billion is possible, this will break every record in the history of all of these industries combined. I also believe that we will see 1 million members participating in DAISY within the next 6 months or less. So this is big. I'm going to go ahead and pull up something, Rob. I'm going to pull a screen share. If you can make me the host or give me screen sharing option, I want to show just one slide real quick.
You should be able to share now, Jeremy.
Okay, great. That I think everyone's going to be interested in. And I shared this on our global webinar the other day, but I know we have a lot of folks looking for the first time, seeing this for the first time. But this is what I want to really share with you guys. So as you know, in our business model, some of you have not seen the whole presentation yet, but we have 10 different tiers that a person can upgrade through. So every member that joins at tier 1. Tier 1 is a $100 contribution. When you get started at tier 1, you open up what we call the tier 1 matrix. So you're now able to earn income from all of the tier 1 members that are part of that matrix. Every member then has the opportunity to upgrade to tier 2. Tier 2 is $200. And then tier 3 is $400. And tier 4 is $800. And each tier simply doubles as you move through those tiers. But each tier also unlocks a new matrix for that tier. So what that means is, if you look at this, these are the real numbers of what happened. 52,566 members got started with DAISY at tier 1. Only 22,000 members were able to upgrade to tier 2 because of the platform issues that we had. Tier 3, 12,000, tier 4, 7, tier 5, 3,000. I want you to picture this. Tier 6, 1,800, tier 7, 800, tier 8, 350, tier 9, 133, tier 10, 78. What does that mean? That means that, for example, in the tier 10 matrix, which, by the way, that alone can pay out well over $100 million in earnings just in the tier 10 matrix. There's only 78 people that had the opportunity to upgrade. I have so many people waiting to upgrade through the tiers, messaging, waiting to upgrade. They were trying to get their money in another way, and they're waiting to go live. Look at just tier 5. Tier 5, 3,700 people. Guys, there are 17,000 members in this organization, in Avinash's organization. There's 17,000 members in the organization. Company-wide, globally, there's only 3,700 members at tier 5. What does that mean? That means that those of you that engage from the beginning of this relaunch, and you move through the upgrades to your comfort level, you earn and you reinvest that money to the higher tiers, you literally have the chance to compress yourself into these higher tiers and be at the top. Imagine what's going to happen, because in 120 days, we may have 500,000 people at tier 5. So imagine if you're one of the first 10,000 people to upgrade to tier 5 and you're sitting at the top of that matrix. Such a huge opportunity right now. In the original smart contract during those 4 days, we had just over 100,000 transactions. So we would consider all of these upgrades a transaction. We had over 500,000 transactions that did not process, that could not be processed. What does that mean? That means that just right now, there's 500,000 upgrades waiting to take place the moment we open the doors. And you have an opportunity to be at the very front end of that. So Avi, there's no doubt in my mind that we will do $1 billion in the next 120 days. And then in the next 6 months, we will reach a million members.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, Jeremy, I want to say thank you for sharing this. Thank you for taking the time to be on this call. We've got over 325 people on this call. Guys, let's go and put a 5 in the chat for Jeremy, creator, founder of this project, who's taking his time out right now in the peak time where we're just getting ready to launch, to come on this call and share some of his wisdom, share some of the vision. You know, I'm always, I could listen to Jeremy all day with his passion about this project and what he wants to do and what he will do. You know, it just fires me up. I'm ready to sign up again. And you know, I feel like I haven't even started yet. So thank you very much for that, Jeremy.
My pleasure. Great to be with you guys. Congratulations again.
Thank you. Awesome. Awesome. So we're going to carry on where we were with Dr. Anna Becker from Endotech, who is the mastermind when it comes to all the AI trading system that's happening. Now, let's take a couple of examples. These are real AI results that Endotech has done. So we'll look at one of their top alpha strategy. So among their alpha strategy, this is the top performing one. Please note that the past performance is not indicative of future performance and is for informational use only. Now, this strategy started in January 2018. And from January 2018 till November 2020 had already generated a compounding profit of 2,239%. That's an average of 814% per year. But look at the transparency again. They tell you that out of 34 months, they had 13 losing months. Now, that may not be exactly losing money. That's because if you have a trade that is currently in negative and you close it, that will reflect on the balance. But you may not have closed your positive trade because you expect the profit to go even higher and higher. But they are fully transparent. Now, here's the funny thing. To have access to this, to directly at Endotech previously, you would have had to pay a fee of $125,000 and deposit a minimum of $1 million so that they can do the trading for you, and you would get 20%, 80% will come to you because they take an exit fee of 20% of the profit on top of these fees. Let's look at their top leverage strategy. This strategy, between 1st of September last year to 9th of November, in 10 weeks, had already generated nearly 300% profit. Now, 10 weeks is like 2.5 months, but one of the full month was a losing month and one was a winning month. You see, they have a strategy. I would say they've got it to the T. They know exactly what to do from their risk management perspective. But what I love here is the transparency. Some people right now are looking at this saying, oh my God, there can be a losing month. No, I prefer when a company tells me they'll pay me 1% per day. Great, because they'll pay you 1% per day for how long? Before they disappear. And you know that as well as I do. This is real trading. So for the first time, that's why I had to say yes. I found a company which I know is really trading with the funds with full transparency. In fact, as you heard, for those of us who were in beta launch earlier this year, well, we've got funds being traded. Dr. Anna Becker came on a call. Actually, in each different language, we've done English, French, Spanish, Italian, about 12 different languages, where she opened Binance and showed all the balances that they have and all the trading that's happening. That's how transparent this project is and has been. These are just a quick screenshot of how the back office will look or looks. Many of you are familiar with this, as you've seen this is exactly like that. And here's a roadmap showing you how eventually the aim is to take Endotech to becoming a publicly listed company, because by being part of the DAISY community, by contributing and being part of this project, we will also receive stock equity of Endotech as they become publicly listed, with a target of this happening being 2022. And then phase 2 and 3 will also start in between, where Forex trading, stock trading, and everything will also be added. So this currently is just phase 1. Let's talk more about phase 1. What are the rewards for the contributors? Well, first of all, it's important to know that there are 10 different crowdfunding tiers to choose from, starting from just $100, which includes your fee, includes your trading pot, everything. $100. Every contributor gets their equal share of 5% Endotech stock, where 50 to 70% of each contribution is used in trading for development, and 70% of the trading profits are rewarded back to you, the contributor. 15% of the trading profit are rewarded into a referral residual plan, and 15% is retained by Endotech. That's what they use for further developing the DAISY AI project or the DAISY AI system. Contributors can withdraw their trading rewards at any time, but as long as your trading profits are still there and not been taken out, it is compounding for you. And I'm sure you understand the power of compounding. And all members are able to participate in the DAISY referral plan that pays out up to 46% of each contribution. Let's take a look at how the smart contract distribution of funds happen. It all has to be done through a Tron wallet. And I'm not talking about your Tron wallet on Binance, on Coinbase, or wherever you have Tron. We're talking about a Tron wallet, which, for example, Tron Link. And we will share that with you as we go along. You make a DAISY contribution, well, 50 to 70% straight away goes into live trading through the DAISY fund, as it's called, and up to 46% goes into the referral plan. The DAISY fund is used for trading by Endotech, where 85% of the trading profit are rewarded back to the contributors. And with the DAISY crowd, the referral plan, it pays out up to 46% instantly to everyone who qualifies. Now, I say instantly like that because many of you are familiar where you're in a company, you have to request a withdrawal, or it's every day, once a day, or once a week. You have to wait for Friday, you have to wait for Monday, and then it's another 5 days for you to receive your withdrawals. No. Here, the minute someone presses a button and does a contribution, instantly, if you are qualified to receive a part of the referral plan, of the commission, of the rewards, instantly that goes not to your back office, to your wallet, directly into your Tron wallet. It's instant. That is beautiful. That is powerful. Now, we use the Tron blockchain, but the payments for the contribution are done using Tron USDT, which is simply USDT Tether, because it's a stable coin transacted on the Tron blockchain. But remember, you will need to have some Tron as well. And if you're new, the person who invited you will be able to guide you through some videos, tutorials that will be able to help you with these. In fact, if someone can just post a YouTube channel with all the tutorials, anyone who's new, go to that YouTube, subscribe, you'll be able to find all the tutorial videos that you need. Now, the Tron blockchain, because it allows automated interaction between members and DAISY, it removes the need for a company to be in control. It's totally decentralized. It allows all promises to be executed instantly with 100% transparency, because you can go on the blockchain and verify every single transaction. Tron blockchain is among the fastest and the most scalable. It has low gas fees that allows for high performing smart contract at low cost, like the DAISY project. Tron is a top emerging decentralized app platform with a huge future. And TRX USDT, oops, that's what happens when you don't have your tools. TRX USDT dominates all USDT liquidity in the market. Now, let's first of all, before we dive into the referral plan, let's talk about passive income. Let's talk about the passive income opportunities with Daisy, benefits that you can have even if you do not refer anyone. Well, first of all, you can own equity, potential return from selling Endotech stock or receiving dividends in the future. You have the trading rewards, where potential rewards from successful trading performance of Endotech AI system is rewarded back to you. And then we have the potential matrix spillover. Check this out. Without referring anyone as a part of the referral plan, you can generate a maximum of 48% on your own crowdfunding contribution that you've done purely from what we call spillover in the referral plan, with no referrals. And guess what? Even that is now not correct. And I will share that with you later. You can now make way more than 48%, even without referring anyone. That is unheard of. But before we go there, let's take a look at the 10 different crowdfunding tiers that we mentioned, that Mr. Jeremy Roma talked about, how many people have so far contributed to each tier. When you get started with Daisy, everyone has to start with entry 1, which is a contribution of $100. Entry 2, which is tier 2, is an additional $200. That means you've contributed $300. Tier 3 is an additional $400, and so on and so forth. You can go all the way to tier 10, which is a maximum contribution of $102,300. People often ask, well, what are the benefits of the higher tiers, of the different tiers? Well, the higher the tiers, the more shares you're getting in Endotech. The higher the tier, the more you have in trading, especially from tier 8, where now instead of 50%, 70% goes into trading. And here's the important thing. Remember, Jeremy said you have 10 separate structures, 10 separate matrices. If you contribute to tier 1, you only appear in one matrix, in matrix tier 1. When you do contribute to tier 2, now you also appear in the matrix of tier 2. What does that mean? That means if you've contributed up to tier 4, for example, you can only earn of the first 4 tiers of other people. So if I was to drop into your structure via spillover or via your team, but I contributed now to tier 6, you would get paid on my tier 1, 2, 3, 4, but not on my tier 5 and 6 because you have not contributed to those yourselves. You can only earn on the tiers that you have contributed yourself. Now let's talk about the referral plan, because this is exciting, especially when you have a referral plan that people can earn up to 48%, in fact, even more than 48% potentially without referring a single person. Now, there are 5 upfront income opportunities in the referral plan. There are 3 residual income opportunity, and then we also have the stock equity that you have. That's 9 different ways of potentially earning on the referral plan. Now, this referral plan pays out up to 46% maximum. The first part of the referral plan is what we call a personal referral bonus. You introduce someone to the business, you make 5%. There's no qualification required. It doesn't matter if you're just on tier 1 and you introduce someone on tier 10, you get 5% of their total contributions. Brilliant. If I'm on tier 1, I introduce someone on tier 4, which is $1,500 total contribution, I make 5%, $75 comes to me. I receive that in USDT instantly in my wallet. Now, let us explain what a force matrix placement means with spillover. First of all, a force matrix placement means that it's a matrix. That means there's free position, and then there's each free has free, which is 9, and they each have free, which is 27, and so on. A force matrix means it will fill up the spaces in order. It has to fill up one level before it goes to the next level, before it goes to the next level. So what does spillover means? On the left here, let's say you are the person in yellow. You join, you introduce 3 people who are the 3 on your first generation of your matrix. They introduce 3 each. Now there's 9 on your second generation. That's you and your personal organization. Let's look at what spillover means. If you join Daisy, someone has invited you. That's the person in blue. Now, when you join, they decided they put someone that falls into your matrix, and then you put 2 people. Now, that person that came into your structure, but is not from you, is not from your team, is from someone above you. That is what we call spillover. And the beauty is, on the matrix, whether it's from you, your team, or spillover, you get paid the same amount. That's where spillover is incredible. And there's such an amazing, amazing promotion going on that I'm going to share with you shortly. As we mentioned, there's 10 separate matrices. You contribute to tier 1, you appear in matrix 1. When you contribute to tier 2, now you appear in matrix 1 and 2. If you've contributed to tier 8, you appear in 8 different structures, but not the 9th and the 10th. Okay. And each contribution tier that you do, as a recap, you can only earn on those tiers because you don't appear on the matrix of the other tiers you haven't contributed to. Now, here's the beauty. We've said to you, without referring anyone, 0 requirement on how many people you introduce or how much they've funded, you qualify to benefit of the first 2 generations of the matrix. And that's where the 48% comes from. Because let's take an example of tier 1 to 7. You could make 4% of the 3 potential people that could drop into your matrix, even with you sponsoring no one. 4% times 3 is 12% of your own contribution. You can make 4% of up to 9 people that could drop in your generation 2 of your matrix. That's another 36%. That's how you can make 48%. But hold on to that thought, because I said you can make way more. And I'll explain that on a slide or 2 later. But in general, if you want to now benefit from generation 3 to 10 of your matrix, there's a qualification required. For example, to unlock generation 3, you need to introduce a minimum of 3 people into the business. Minimum of 3, it can be 4, it can be 5, whose total contribution combined is $1,000 only. What that does now, it means you could earn another 3% of potentially another 27 people that could fall into your generation 3. You can introduce a minimum of 6 people or more whose total contribution is $2,000 or more, so that you can unlock generation 4 and earn off even more people, and so on and so forth. You can go on and unlock more and more and more generation in your matrix, amounting to some, these figures are just out of this world, but that is how you get there. You have to put in the work and unlock these matrix generation. We have also what we call a matrix check matching bonus. For everyone you introduce, you get 5%. Now, they are going to be in a matrix or in multiple matrices, and when they have people coming into their matrix, they're going to earn a matrix bonus, as we just showed. Because you introduce them, you get 10% of what they make on the matrix. So if we went back for a second, let's say you introduce me, and today I made, let's say, for example, here, tier 1 to 7, there was 3 and 9 people that came into my organization. I made $4,572. Hey, you introduce me, you get 10% up to the same tiers and levels that you're qualified to. In this example, you get $457.20. And that every time that I earn on the matrix, you make 10%. Now, we normally have a grace period of 48 hours. I say normally because what is a grace period? The first 2 generations of your matrix is unlocked, we said. But tier 3 to 10, you have to qualify. Guess what? In the first 48 hours, there is no matrix qualifications required. You can earn matrix bonus on all 10 generations, which means you're not capped at 48%, even if you've sponsored no one or just one, you haven't unlocked a certain level. Guess what? In the first 48 hours, you will get paid on anyone that drops into your structure. But there is more, because they've just changed this. So the slide's a little bit old. A couple of days ago, Mr. Jeremy Roma made an incredible announcement. to tell us that they have extended this grace period from the day we launch. At that point only, you have 5 days. 5 days where if you are in a position where there could be a huge amount of global spillover, we're not making guarantees on that, but the spillover is coming. And if you form part in somewhere where the person above you and the person above you are working, you're bound to receive spillover. And you can, for 5 days, earn off every person that drops into your matrix, irrespective of generation, whether you've qualified or not. I don't know if you understand how huge this is, but today I had a testimonial of someone who, you know what, they understand the strength of what that means. Now, we also have a Unilevel residual trading bonus. I'm not going into too much details with the compensation plan because we already have a video that if anyone wants to really go deep, you can watch that video. This part is the one that excites me the most because this is residual and this is repeated. You see, I believe in doing the work once. That's what we call residual income. That's what we call passive income. When you do the work once, and you get paid over and over and over and over again. And this is what you're seeing on the screen here exactly means. Because everyone that you personally introduce to Daisy, they become what we call your Unilevel level 1. Everyone you introduce personally, that's on the Unilevel structure. Forget the matrix now. They are what we call your level 1. Guess what? When they withdraw their trading profits, 3.5% of the trading profits goes to you every time. And whoever let's say you had 10 people, and let's say those 10 introduced 10 people. Now you have 100 people on your Unilevel level 2. You'll make 1% of the trading profit of each of those 100 people. You'll make 1% on everyone on your level 3 up to 10, up to whichever generation in your matrix you have unlocked. That is phenomenal. Now, you heard Jeremy talk about Pacesetter. There's multiple parts to the Pacesetter. The first part of this Pacesetter bonus, in your first 30 days. Now, if you're already in the business, everyone will have 30 days from the day we launch in the next few days. But people who join on the second day, new people, they'll have 30 days from the day they launch. So anyone, even if you join the business already, you will have 30 days from the launch date. Whatever generation you unlock in your matrix to qualify for more levels, automatically, whatever you unlock in the first 30 days, the system unlocks 1 extra level. So if you introduce 3 people who's contributed $1,000 or more, well, guess what? You've unlocked generation 3. If you do that in your first 30 days, automatically generation 4 gets unlocked for you. So you can benefit of an additional potential 81 people at 3% for tiers 1 to 7. And so on, you can go and unlock more and more. So if you were to complete the requirement of generation 9, it will unlock generation 10 for you. That means you have all the levels unlocked. But what's in it for you if you were to do the full requirement of unlocking generation 10? You would become what we call a Pacesetter Gold. And I'll go to the next screen to explain this because Jeremy just said we're going to be doing an exclusive event potentially in Dubai for only those who hit Pacesetter. And people say, how long does it take? Well, to hit Pacesetter Gold, you have to do it in your first 30 days. Well, really, if we're launching in 5 days, you got 35 days. If we're launching in 4 days, you got 34 days. If we're launching in 7 days, you got 37 days. Make the most of the time. By personally introducing 24 people minimum, whose total contribution comes to $128,000 or more, in your first 30 days, you become a Pacesetter Gold. What do you get? Well, 1.8% of every single contribution that is made goes into a pot, a pool, and is distributed equally between everyone who reaches this milestone of Pacesetter Gold. Phenomenal. We did 50 million in 4 days. 1.8% of that if I'm not mistaken, is $900,000. $900,000 was distributed between a few people. How would you like a share of that? Make sure you get to Pacesetter Gold. It doesn't stop there, because you also 1.25% of all trading profits of everyone. Already there's 50,000 people. The 1.25% of the trading profit on 50 million right now is going to go into a pool. And as we launch, more and more is going to be contributing. That goes into a pool and is distributed equally only between those who qualify for Pacesetter Gold. And the same happens with 5% equity share of Endotech stock. Now, Pacesetter Gold is great, but Pacesetter Leadership is just another level. The beautiful thing is you do not need to qualify for Pacesetter Gold to qualify for Pacesetter Leadership, and you can also qualify for both. How to do so? Well, to qualify for Pacesetter Leadership, all you need to do is help 3 of your people that you personally introduce in the business, help 3 of them reach the milestone of Pacesetter Gold. That will make you Pacesetter Leadership. The exact same amount, 1.8% of every contribution and 1.25% of every trading profit goes into a pool and is distributed only between those who are Pacesetter Leadership. And I can tell you this, there's probably going to be 10 times more Pacesetter Gold than Pacesetter Leadership, which means the Pacesetter Leadership, the same amount, 1.8%, will be distributed, but will probably pay out, give or take my estimate, 10 times more than the Pacesetter Gold. So it's very important that you take the Pacesetter, both Gold and Leadership, very seriously. And as you can see, as announced by Mr. Jeremy Roma, there will be exclusive benefits and exclusive invitations for those who achieve these milestones. Now, as a summary of the last slide, up to 3.6% of every contribution worldwide goes into pools that you can qualify to take a share of. Up to 2.5% of every trading profit goes into pools that you can qualify by reaching Pacesetters. And those will pay out instantly hundreds and thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars to all those that are qualified over a period of time. Now, we strongly advise people to use the TronLink wallet, hence why we're using TronLink wallet as an example here. But allow me to now do a summary of the categories of members that we have. We have tiers 1 to 7 contribution, where 50% goes into the Daisy Fund for trading. We have tiers 8, 9, and 10, where 70% goes to Daisy Fund for trading. But we also have a level called VIP customers that we haven't talked about, where 100% goes to your personal account. Now that is incredible, because here's what it means. To become a VIP customer, you need to have contributed to all 10 tiers first. Then you have the opportunity, if you want to add any more funds to your trading, 100% of your funds will go into trading. The minimum for that is $20,000 additional, and the fund stays in your personal wallet. You don't even send it anywhere. Not to Daisy, not to Endotech. It stays in your wallet, in your Gemini, in your Binance, in your Coinbase. You pay a one-off 5% setup fee to Endotech as a promotion. And via API, Endotech does the trading for you, which means you are in control of your funds at all time. And you get to keep not 70, but 80% of the profits goes to you, where 10% of the fee they keep goes into a referral rewards plan, paying 1% to 10 generation. How to join Daisy is very simple. You download the TronLink wallet app. You prepare 100 USDT or the total of each of the tier you want to contribute in your TronLink app, and around 30 to 40 TRX, which is Tron equivalent to about $1 something for each transaction. You get a sign up link from your referral. Now, this is very important. And here's why I need to share this with you. A lot of people, having seen that Daisy is the talk of the year, has decided they could make some quick, easy money. We call these people scammers. What they're going to do is they're going to tell you they will have a link for you earlier. And they probably will, because some people have gone to the extent of replicating the Daisy site, creating links and telling you you can get in and sign up now before the others, so you get more spillover. And guess what? It's a fake website. Once you paid your money, your level, whatever tier, $100, $1,500, $6,000, or $100,000, guess what? You don't hear from them ever again, because you don't even know who they are. They're not Daisy. So if you fall for that, that's on you. People are going to misrepresent, so you have to be careful. That's why the only person you accept a sign-up link from is your referral, not some stranger that approaches you on Facebook, on social media, telling you, oh, they will have the link earlier, they have the link already, and they will show you some screenshots as well, and you will fall for it. Be careful. Once you have the sign-up link, you go and get yourself registered. We've got videos on how to sign up, how to register. It's a very simple process. You purchase a minimum of entry tier 1 and secure your spot in that matrix, or contribute to all the tiers that you want to and secure your spot in those matrix, or matrices, I should say. And then with that together, we create history. Now that brings us to the end of the presentation, but hold on a second. Before you leave, I want to share something ultimately important with you. You know, we've all heard and said the following. Have you guys noticed that over the past decade, every conversation in a group, one point or the other, is always leading to the same thing: financial freedom, passive income, residual income, wanting more out of life, wanting to do more, wanting to give more, wanting to support charities more, you know, do more for the community, for the world, because the world has evolved. But here's one thing that hasn't changed. All of us have said this in the past, or we've heard of people saying it. We've said, I wish someone told me about this great opportunity before. I wish someone told me to, you know, buy Amazon shares at $1.67 in 1997. I wish someone told me to invest in Apple, in Facebook. I wish someone told me to buy Bitcoins when it was a 1,000 Bitcoins for $3 in 2009. By the way, those 1,000 Bitcoins today would have been worth over 55 million from $3. But here's the funny thing. It's very easy to be wise after the event. Most of the times when we're given an opportunity, we don't even take it. And then we regret later and we say the same thing. You want proof? The proof is in the pudding. How many of you actually bought Bitcoin the first time you were introduced to it? Or how many of you bought the right amount of Bitcoin the first time you were introduced to it? Like me, I bought 2 at less than $10. Not 200, not 2,000, I bought 2. You see, you can never look back and say you wish someone told you about Daisy when you see Daisy become one of the greatest companies in the world. But what you need to do is, because you're the only person responsible, take this information, do your own research and make an informed decision, but make sure you make a decision that you never have to look back and say you wish you did. So with that said, we want to thank everyone for being here on this call. We want to thank you for inviting your guests, inviting your team, and we look forward to seeing you on some of our next calls. We're going to be running calls every single day. We're going to send out a schedule. We're going to start doing morning calls, afternoon calls, evening calls, so that we can accommodate every time zone, because you may know people in different parts of the world, and we want to be here to help you build your business. Because one thing, never forget, never let someone who bring you into the business make you feel that you work for them, because they're supposed to work for you. As an upline to you, to some of you, and to even those who are not in my team. I know there's a lot of people here. I've seen you. You're not in my team, but we connected. You needed some help. I'm here to work for you. I'm here to do the work to make sure that we can take you from where you are now to where you want to get to. All right. So with that said, have a blessed day, a blessed evening, wherever you are in the world. And we look forward to seeing you on our next calls. Thank you.